I'll read New Excellent Men 152. I got this out, and the minute I started reading it, I remembered that I made a decision not to review any of Van Morrison's Excellent Men comics, because the majority of the videos will be me being annoyed and calling people idiots for not liking it or not getting it. I love this run, even with all the inner conflict I have faced over the course of this channel with regards to my feelings towards Van Morrison. I still enjoy this run and think that it is brilliant and exactly what the Excellent Men needed at that point. Nothing since has managed to capture the same level of innovation or expansion. Maybe you could argue Jonathan Huckleberry, but I wouldn't. And in my eyes, if you think Van Morrison hated the Excellent Men, or that they took a dump on all the characters, you are not a fan of the Excellent Men. You are a loser wanting to read the same Christopher Clairvoyant stories retold again for the 1000th time. See, this is why I didn't want to review these issues. And actually, on one of our first pages, we have another. One thing with this run is that people just didn't fucking understand it or give it the level of attention it needed. I'm not saying this as some elitist intellectual thing. I mean, let's remove fans and readers from the equation. Let's focus solely on Marvel. Subsequent writers and editors, they did not understand this run. They didn't think about it. They quickly read through it and treated it like surface level melodrama and vague big ideas like the Excellent Men have always been. They missed, they ignored, or they purposely misunderstood stuff that Van Morrison made as clear as possible without being as crap as they are to outright have a character loudly explain the point. This character here, this is Fantomas. 150 years into the future, he has become what he was designed to be, a weapon used by Johnny Subliminal to exterminate life and cull species. There are so many blatant things pointing to this in the story, and after this arc, the book got a new editor who was not involved with this story in any way and probably never even spoke to Van Morrison. And in the letters in one of the issues after this, that editor says that this character is not Fantomas. They are wrong. It very much is. There is another thing in this story with a reveal about Dr. X's sister, and Van Morrison has outright said on Twitter that it was always their intention that that character was Dr. X's sister in a new body. But after this, Marvel treat this story like a non-canon alternative reality thing, and anything established in this doesn't count. Yeah, it is set 150 years in the future, but a character explaining their backstory still fucking counts. This is a divergent future. It's not a totally different reality where Dr. X's sister actually had a different history. Stuff that happened 160 years before this still mirrors what happened in canon. And the truth is, this is canon. This is the future it heads to until the end of this story, when it is prevented. That is when it becomes a divergent future rather than the actual future. But honestly, time travel and futures and reality warps, they remain something Marvel editors cannot understand. So it seems unfair to expect them to understand Van Morrison DNA. By the way, we are in the days of the abundance of adverts ruining a comic. Almost every fucking page. I'm sure that is what clever and subtle stories need. Breaking up with adverts. But our story here is that the remainders of the Excellent Men, which include Wolfman, they are the last real hope for life on Earth. We are at the point where everything, not just muties, not just humans, just about every species on Earth is on the verge of extinction. This is something that the bad guy, Johnny Subliminal, wants to race towards so that they can be the survivor with the ability to control and design what comes next. Here is a double splash page that is a bit needless, but it is Marc Stanley Lee. He draws this story for some reason, and I love Marc Stanley Lee, but I have never really felt that he was the right one for this. His art is good, but it would feel more appropriate if it was one of the artists that Van Morrison had worked with earlier in their run. Quiet Frank would be the obvious one. He would make a lot of sense since he began the run with Morrison. It would make sense to end with him. And I think that he could handle some of the weird designs and the barren, depressing landscapes. There is also Nathan Van Scribbler. Maybe he could have done it well too, but there would be too many cryptic neo-Nazi messages hidden in all the pages for me. So instead, we have Marc Stanley Lee, a classic Excellent Men artist. I am not complaining in any way about his art. In fact, this double splash page here of the Excellent Men of 150 years in the future, well, all that thought, I have it fucking blown up into a massive canvas print hung on me wall. That's how much I like it and this story. So here is our bad guy, Johnny Subliminal. We will get their true backstory in the final part, and we will learn why they resemble the Smurf. And in this bit, we see them interacting with that character from the start who is meant to be Fantomas. And if that guy is just a new character, why are we spending so much time focusing on the back and forth between them? The back and forth which takes on a whole different life when you're gone, wait, that is Fantomas. That makes sense. Fantomas was, in a sense, Johnny Subliminal's very first up man, because he was created by grafting on parts 2. Fantomas is constantly bemoaning, feeling incomplete and like something is missing. This is because he has been separated from his central nervous system, e.v.a, who is our with the excellent men. She is the silver naked robot thing. Likewise, she never says Fantomas is dead. She vaguely alludes to something happening to Fantomas. There is a bit in part 4 where the two of them cross paths, and it couldn't become any more obvious what Van Morrison meant when you have e.v.a asking this character, Fantomas, is that you? And we actually have this very clever and very depressing thing where Fantomas, who was meant to be the epitome of 2001 cool and badass, well, in the future, he has become this pathetic, subservient loser. Seriously, this run is fucking really good. And this story is so much better than anyone thinks. And this is coming from someone who absolutely fucking hates the Phoenix Force and the Ore, and thinks that they ruin the excellent men. Johnny Subliminal, they have found the two of those things, and they are going to use her to further their designs for Earth. This story, it should have been the last Phoenix story. That was also sort of the whole point as well. Van Morrison was saying that if the excellent men didn't move on, this is the sort of fate they would be left towards. A miserable world where it is all about Phoenix. Let's be honest, you have probably already clicked dislike. You didn't like when I called you an idiot, did you? You disagree with my assertion that Van Morrison was better than Christopher Clairvoyant. You click dislike on all me videos about Van Morrison because you didn't like me calling them Van Morrison. I would debate all those points in the comments, but I didn't think I would come off well, and I didn't think that I have come off well in this video itself. It really isn't some sort of, oh, I am smarter than you because I understand this thing. It's not an impossible story to understand at all. People just approach it wrong, and part of that is bred from Marvel's own attitude towards it. This is a fantastic story, and I am deeply sorry that you didn't enjoy it. It's a 7 thumbs up from me.